Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at noon.
A very good Tuesday afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kyle Bosch. Today marks a sad anniversary for the family and friends of NDSU student Tom Bierson. It has been 2 years since his disappearance and murder, but still no motive and no arrests. Bierson was last seen at a party in North Fargo 2 years ago today. His body was discovered in an RV lot in Moorhead 3 days later. Police say that Bierson's death is considered the department's highest priority. Now, Bierson's parents are speaking out about their lives since their son's death. To read their story, head to our website, valleynewslive.com. There was a bit of a scare overnight outside a hotel in Fargo, north of West Acres. The fire department's hazmat team was called in to shut down an anhydrous ammonia leak in the parking lot of the Biltmore Hotel. That's on Main Avenue and I-29. It happened around midnight. Someone had reported a leak and possibly smoke coming out of a tanker truck there. Police shut down the streets surrounding the hotel, and the Fargo Fire Department's hazmat team moved in to seal a cracked valve that was causing the leak. Fire officials say the leak didn't pose any health risk to the public, and they didn't have to evacuate the hotel. The driver of the tanker was able to take the truck back to Grand Forks to repair that cracked valve. A Minnesota restaurant owner who is upset about the terror attack at a St. Cloud mall is stirring up controversy with a sign that he put up outside of his business that has a lot of people commenting on our Facebook page. The sign outside Treats Family Restaurant in Lonsdale reads, quote, "Muslims get out." Owner Dan Rudinger says that the sign has led to some backlash, but he has no plans to take it down.
People started standing up, not worrying about the PC crowd, and do what is right. And I feel what we're doing is right. We are not targeting the Muslims in general, just the extremists. And that's all I can say. It's my right, and I'm going to stand up, and I wish more people would do it.
I get it. It's his right to say what he wants to say, but that's giving Lonsdale a bad rap to everyone that drives by on 19, which is a very busy road. So people are going to see that, and they're going to think Lonsdale as a whole, as a community, is as crass as that sign.
And you can join the conversation on this story on Facebook. Just search for Valley News Live on Facebook, like our page, and look for this story. Federal authorities are now confirming what a lot of people have been talking about. They're calling that St. Cloud incident an act of terrorism. 10 people were stabbed by 20-year-old Dahir Adan. His picture's up on your screen right now. We're also learning more about Adan's time in Fargo. Documents uncovered by Valley News Live show that his Social Security number was given out by the state of North Dakota sometime between 1995 and 1998, meaning he was just a child at the time, and that he was likely radicalized in the United States. West Acres Mall officials say they don't plan to change any of their procedures in the wake of that St. Cloud attack. The mall's code of conduct says that weapons are not allowed inside unless you are a trained police officer. Let's check in now with meteorologist Lisa Green, who's keeping a watch on our weather on this Tuesday. You can see the wet streets out there, but raindrops aren't falling in Fargo anymore, Lisa.
We're getting a little break on the south end of the metro. We're looking at rain showers still going on in parts of the region, though. The cloud cover still hanging on, too. That's been keeping our temperatures down. And as we zoom in a little bit, you can see one little lightning bolt in south central parts of Stutzman County, so a little thunderstorm there. But on the south end of the metro, we're drying out northern part. Still getting some rain up around the airport, and that stretches over toward Becker County and into places like the Park Rapids area in Minnesota. And that's moving from west to east. So we're looking again at some rain showers on the northern side of Clay County and north of I-94 for so long this morning. And now into this afternoon, there are places along I-94 just constantly getting rain. That rain and cloud cover keeping our temperatures on the cool side. We're only at 58 right now in Fargo. In contrast, it's 67 in Grand Forks. We're on our way to the 70s for parts of the valley. More on that coming up.
All right, we will see you then. Thanks, Lisa. Terror suspect Ahmad Khan Rahmani is in custody today, facing 5 counts of attempted murder of police officers. Prosecutors are weighing additional charges over the bombings in New York and New Jersey as they learn more about the suspect and what might have motivated the attacks. Brooke Silva Braga reports on this developing story.
The father of terror suspect Ahmad Khan Rahmani stood outside the family's home this morning and said he'd called the FBI 2 years ago.
You got a connection with this guy.
Investigators are now piecing together clues about his 28-year-old son and what might have driven him to bombings in New York and New Jersey over the weekend. Sources tell CBS News they've recovered a handwritten note and a notebook. The writings reveal he may have been radicalized.
As far as acting alone, that's part of the investigation. They're going to look at friends, family, go through all of his records, his social media, his phones.
The suspect was on the run for just 50 hours before police arrested him in a shootout in New Jersey. Investigators say he left a trail of clues, including both fingerprints and DNA. His face was captured by surveillance cameras near the bombing in Manhattan, which injured 29 people. Rahami is a U.S. citizen born in Afghanistan. CBS News has learned he traveled recently to Afghanistan at least 3 times and at least once to Pakistan. Here in New Jersey, Rahami lived in this house in Elizabeth, just upstairs from the family's chicken restaurant. The Rahamis have clashed with the community over noise complaints and accused the city of anti-Muslim sentiment in a lawsuit that was later terminated. Rahami underwent surgery for his injuries from the shootout. He's being held on more than $5 million bail and so far is said to not be cooperating with law enforcement. Brooke Silva-Braga for CBS News, Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Now, law enforcement officials say Rahami was not on any terror watch list or on a no-fly restriction, but he had been interviewed while traveling between the U.S. and Afghanistan. A man could be facing up to 5 years in jail on terrorizing charges after allegedly telling people at a Grand Forks business that he had a gun. Craig Kuhl of Grand Forks allegedly told a radio station employee that he had a weapon in his vehicle. The weapon turned out to be 2 airsoft guns. The Moorhead Kmart is among 64 stores closing nationwide because of declining sales. Employees were notified on Friday. The stores that are shutting down will begin liquidation sales on Thursday and close by mid-December. The stores are owned by Sears, and this new wave of closures follows the company's decision in July to shut down nearly 80 stores, most of which are Kmart stores. Well, in our consumer alert at noon, Kellogg's is recalling 10,000 cases of Eggo waffles because they might be contaminated with listeria. The recall involves Eggo's Nutri-Grain whole wheat waffles sold in 10-count boxes. They have a best if used by date of November 21st or 22nd, 2017. You can contact Kellogg at 1-800-962-1413 to get a refund. No illnesses have been reported, but Kellogg has issued a recall out of precaution after routine tests identified potential for contamination. New research conducted by AAA finds you're wasting money on premium gas if your vehicle is designed to run on regular. The club found that premium won't increase horsepower or fuel economy and didn't reduce emissions or clean engines any better than regular gasoline. A survey found that Americans spent more than $2 billion extra on premium gas just in the past year when they didn't need to. Well, the next time you're at West Acres, you might want to check out the Roger Maris Museum. A couple of shelves that were once empty have items on them again. They're replicas, or rather pictures, of the items that were stolen over the summer. Those were the 1960 MVP Award and the S. Ray Hickok belt that disappeared in the middle of the night on July 26th. Mall officials say the investigation into the theft is still ongoing.